Hello and welcome back to some more Baldur's Gate 3. So this is part 2 of the most broken party comp ever, period. And we are going to be talking about gear and synergy. Essentially, rather than giving you an act by act and play by play breakdown of what gear you should be equipping at what time for what fight, I'm just going to give you the two items you need to do the shenanigans in the intro in this video, essentially stun locking the big boss behind a spell save DC of 34. And we can reach this number very easily because of Tavern Brawler. It all comes back to Tavern Brawler. So let's go. The two main items in question are the Brain Drain gloves, which you can find in the Illithid colony in Act 2, and the other one is the Helm of Arcane Acuity, which you can find in the Masons Guild as well in Act 2. The third optional item, it makes it a lot easier to do, but it is optional if you haven't been able to get it, is the Band of the Mystic Scoundrel, which allows you to cast an enchantment or illusion spell as a bonus action. This you can find in Act 3 when the genie sends you to Chult to fight the dinosaurs. Again, it is not necessary, but it is also amazingly helpful, so I would recommend using it. So that's it. 3 items and 2 class abilities. And that's all you need to get to the spell save DC of 34. If you have managed to make the big boss use up all 3 of their legendary resistances at this point in time, they can no longer beat this spell save DC and are effectively stun locked. Because I am 99% sure that there is no boss within Baldur's Gate 3 that has a plus 14 to their wisdom saving throws. I could be wrong, and I will gladly admit it if somebody shows me a screenshot of that. But yes, unless they have a plus 14 to their wisdom saving throws, and you have made them use up all of their legendary saves, a spell save DC of 34 is mathematically impossible to break for any of the bosses in Baldur's Gate 3. So this is how it works. Your monk is going to go first. They will have the brain drain gloves on. You have changed your damage type to psychic. What the brain drain gloves is, every time you do psychic damage, you cause 2 turns of mental fatigue. Mental fatigue reduces your intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws by 1 for each turn. Every time you hit, you apply 2 turns of mental fatigue. So, as a thief for Openhand Monk 8, you have, if you go Nova, 6 attacks. If you don't want to use resources, you have 4, more than enough to apply the maximum debuff of -7. So what you do is you attack with a punch, it's a -2. You attack with a bonus action punch, it's another -2. You attack with another punch, -2. You attack with a bonus action punch, another -2. It does cap at -7 though, so you do need 4 attacks to get to that cap, but -7 is the max that you can debuff that you can apply to a boss. Now, because you have Tavern Brawler, you are almost guaranteed to hit no matter what. Again, this is why I said the damage is great, but the fact that you can guarantee a hit is what makes Tavern Brawler broken rather than the damage itself. So, you now have applied a -7 debuff to intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws. Guess whose turn it comes in? It is now the Eldritch Knight's turn. The Eldritch Knight now hits one of the people that you've made prone. They have advantage because they are prone, and they get Arcane Acuity. So, Arcane Acuity increases your spell save DC by 1 for every turn that you got it. Every time you hit and you have the Helm of Acuity, you get 2 turns of Arcane Acuity. So our Eldritch Knight hits once, they get 2 turns of Arcane Acuity. Spell save DC goes up by 2. They do this again, another goes up by 4. They action surge. Again, they hit twice. So spell save DC goes up by 8. So they now have a spell save DC of 25. Now if we apply basic algebra and balance the equation, we take the debuff that we've applied to the boss's saving throws and move it across so we can see exactly what our spell save DC is. Because of that debuff, we have a spell save DC of 32. So Orin can still break through this spell save DC by rolling a 19 or 20, but only if she still has legendary resistances. You can burn through those legendary resistances by trying to use your stunning attack with your monk. Once each of those 3 legendary resistances has been used up, mathematically there is no way that she can break out of this stun. She is stun locked until you take her down. The same holds true for Gortash, although I believe he has a +7 to his wisdom saving throw, which means for a spell save DC of 34, he would need to roll a 17 or higher in order to bypass your spell to incapacitate him. Again, that only is true if he still has legendary resistances. If his legendary resistances has been used up, mathematically there is no way he can pass a spell save DC of 34. And to get a spell save DC of 34 in our example here, it's fairly easy. You just bring your EK Knight right up to the stunned or held enemy and get them to hit it. Arcane Acuity will still apply, and Arcane Acuity will actually update the spell save DC they have to hit to the higher level, bringing the spell save DC from 25 to 27. But also on top of that, your monk is still wailing away at the enemy, refreshing that negative debuff of -7 each and every turn. And there you go, another mathematically proven way that the Tavern Brawler party breaks Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, that's it. I would recommend that for the Druid, you focus on increasing your spell save DC with your gear. For your Barbarian, I would recommend you focusing on the following things in this order. Saving throws, mobility, and then AC. For your monk, it's the same 3 but in a different order. I would recommend focusing on mobility, AC, then saves. And for your EK, I would focus on increasing your to hit chance in melee, not throws, because Arcane Acuity does not work when you throw your weapon. It only works in melee or when you're shooting via bow or crossbow. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Miriku underscore K0564. I hope that helped. If not, let me know down below and I'll try and answer more of your questions. As always, thanks for watching and I'll catch you all next time. Cheers.